This is a quick tour of the Zephyrites zone in Guild Wars 2. They just shut it down and replaced it with a new zone for Season 2, Living World. I made a video because this is a really unique zone, maybe not in Guild Wars 2, but in games, computer games, video games, generally, because here we have background and scenery that seems way too far away to matter in the game or to be reasonable to get to. But here we can go anywhere. We just saw a ship in the clouds, and that is actually where we want to go. And this is what the tour is about. We walk from the beach or from the little harbor here straight to the ship in a direct fashion, and we have to go through a kind of a obstacle course where you have to use certain cells that are only available here in this zone, like these, like to cross these waterfalls, and it's an Easter egg hunt. This zone is a giant Easter egg hunt. You have to explore every nook and cranny and try to find crystals that are hidden in the water, behind the waterfalls, on some planks, or behind a building, on top of a building, in generally hidden spaces. This is one of the things I like in Guild Wars 2. It is not about constantly doing raids or something like in other games. You can play this like Skyrim. You can just stick around all day and explore, collect, and get achievement points, do things that are not really very goal oriented or not very straightforward. You have a lot of chaos in Guild Wars 2. That is something many people, if they come from other games that are more streamlined and more hand-holding, they can handle that. And they get frustrated because they purposefully ignore a lot of content, because they have been taught by other games that this content is not relevant. And you have to go through it as fast as possible, like in World of Warcraft, where the leveling is so irrelevant and so boring nowadays that they give you a quick jump to level 90. That's just stupid. I mean, it's an open admission that your game is crap, basically. And with Guild Wars 2, you start, and from the first minute on, this is the game. This is all the game will ever be. And this zone is a perfect example. You can totally live without this zone. That's why they scrapped it. It is not relevant, but it is chaotic, it is weird, and it is very alive. It is not just a 2D plane where you can walk around. It's a real space with height and depth. This is, I think, very unique, especially in MMOs, but also in most kind of games, and especially on console. I think this would be pretty impossible to do, because most people are they don't expect what you can do here, and so they don't do it and don't know what the point of the game is. It's the same effect as in EVE Online. If people get bored, other people get a heart attack. It's still the same game, and both people are correct. It just depends on your own expectations.
Oh, I see it. Good. Just in case.
So here we are on top of the cliff, or on top of the giant rock where a sizable chunk of the village is. You see the big balloon there. That's way to one of the main cities, Destiny's Reach. You can take the balloon, and on top of all those buildings there are crystals or things you can explore, and this is almost the end. Here we can see another ship. The end of the zone is a giant floating or flying ship that has another level of really difficult jumps and things you can climb up on. The ship is incredibly high. I tried to get to the very top and I didn't make it. It's pretty complicated, and you have to have a lot of time and have a lot of tries to make it, to collect all the achievement stuff that is on there, but it is not really necessary. And here I'm doing another jump down to showcase basically how high this is and how little the game has to cheat. In this case, it doesn't have to cheat at all, because you really jump down and it's the same level. There is no loading screen, and it is just amazing to see something like this in a game that is for free, has no monthly fee. Most other MMOs have a fee structure, and this one doesn't. You buy the game and that's it. So I jump down. I glitch a little bit because I still have the other clothes on, where usually if you dive or something or go into the water, you get a different set of items. For example, a diving mask where you can swim around and don't need oxygen. So you can have amazingly detailed underwater areas in Guild Wars 2. So now I'm swimming back to the little harbor and end the video basically. On top of many of those rocks are some crystals as well. So we have to explore even this area if you want to complete the zone. That's one of the things you do in Guild Wars 2. You complete zones by doing or collecting all the stuff that's in there, and it can take a while, and it's good for people who just want to do that and don't want to go into dungeons all day long like in World of Warcraft or something. I hope you enjoyed it and got a better feel of how Guild Wars 2 works. It's a very unique Skyrim-like experience if you play it that way, and it's a very cheap game for the amount of content. It's about, I think, a few times as large as World of Warcraft and many times as large as Skyrim itself. If people like it, I will show off a few other parts of the game, and I'm happy for any advice or any comments. Tell me what you liked and what you didn't like, and have fun.